What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? You are tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast pregame live stream for the Chiefs versus the Jets. Got my guys in here. I got my boy Mark in here. We at the Blue Diamond Saloon live, Chiefs Bar in Las Vegas. It's pretty lit up in here right now. People are happy because the Raiders just lost to the Chargers. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Clarence should be following in real soon. We got a lot to speak on. Let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. We in hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to win him early, hear the truth. Tune in every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Cris Style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
Welcome back, everybody. Chiefs Kingdom. We are here live at the Blue Diamond Saloon pregame show. Chiefs versus Jets. What's going on, Ty?
How's it going, man? Ready for this game tonight? So far, so hopefully tonight will be a little better. Obviously, with the Chiefs getting a big W.
Yeah, for sure, most definitely. Mark, what's going on, man?
Oh, just usual, business as usual. Watching all the other interesting games out there. Couple of them stuck out there. Of course, the Buffalo and Miami. That was a very intriguing, but at the same time disappointing game. The Broncos, call for what it is. They suck, whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a lot of interesting games. Let's get to Sunday Night Football. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get to the game, man. For sure. Well, we're here, fellas.
Yeah.
Chiefs versus Jets pregame show. Ty, what is something that overall that you're interested in this game?
Yeah, overall, I'm interested in how the offensive line holds up. This is probably the biggest test they've seen, maybe besides the Detroit Lions, going up against Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson. They got some good players on that defense, especially that defensive line. So I'm going to be watching to see how the offense responds, especially the offensive line.
What about you, Mark?
This is a great measurable for the offense specifically. We're actually seeing a top-flight defense as far as with the Jets. Say what you want to say about their offense, but their defense is always at the top of their games. Like obviously, it starts with the line. So it's with Quinnen Williams, he's going to do what he do. They got linebackers out that can hold it down for him. You got Mosley sitting there, so it'll be interesting to see who they have matched up against Kelsey. Then, of course, they got those corners who I think is going to be a great test. Whoever, we already know. Sauce Gardner, he's no secret. We knew he was talented coming out of Cincy. We knew he was going to be talented coming out, and he pretty much proved it all last year. So whatever that matchup looks like, whether it be Tony or whoever it is, it's going to be a good challenge for this team. And I think it's going to be a really good challenge for Pat Mahomes as far as with it's a good measurable to see exactly where they are going into week 4 and seeing and going forward for the season.
Yeah, most definitely, man. These, what it is. It's these receivers, man. I want to see them stack more games, man. She Rice, Sky Moore. These are the games where you got to, show up, what I'm saying, and show out. I want to see a big game from Sky Moore. I want to see a big game from She Rice. MVS, main plays, Justin Watson, they're going to do what they do. They're the deep threats. And maybe, hopefully, we can get some Kadarius Toney sprinkled in somewhere. These past few games, he's been, he's hampered by the injuries. They're slow burning him into the offense. And I want to see him make a play. He don't have to get 100 yards. He doesn't have to, have steady catches for 150. No, but give us a big play, Canaries, 30, 40 yards down the field, on a jet sweep, take it 20, 30 yards, you know, make this offense get that explosiveness in this offense, man. And it's like you said, Ty, offensive line, can they hold up
Yeah.
against this pass rush, especially in the interior with Quentin Williams? You saw that Trey Smith had a little problems with Aiden Hutchinson in the first game against Detroit. Will he have those same problems with Quentin Williams, which he probably will, but he's probably going to need some help. They're probably going to double team him. Got to double team him.
You
You
got
know,
to.
he is up there in stature with the Chris Jones, with the Aaron Donalds, with those type of guys. And he can wreck the game, and he can be a game wrecker. So, and the one thing that the Jets want to do is they want to make this game ugly. They want to make it physical.
Yeah.
They don't want the low scoring as much. Help out Zach Wilson, give him short fields so that he doesn't have to go all the way down the field. He if he can get the ball at the 40 and they can get a turnover or something like that, that helps Zach Wilson out. So that's something that we're gonna have to look for. Like you said, Ty, this offensive line, and I'm looking for these receivers. Now we can go and get it out before Clarence gets in there because Clarence everybody get mad. We all know Taylor Swift is going to be in the building. Swifties are going to be at an all-time high. A lot of Travis Kelce jerseys. It's going to be pandemonium. Do you think this could become a distraction for Travis Kelce?
I think could become a distraction for Travis himself, but as far as for the rest of the team, I don't see it being a problem. But, as for Travis himself, I mean, it's totally possible. I don't see it being that way, just knowing how Travis is. He's so locked in all the time. I don't think it'll become a problem, but I mean, it could.
I'm gonna keep it simple. We can get over the whole thing with Jackson Mahomes. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. That's I'm pretty sure it'll all be fine. As far as distractions, say what you want to say. I mean, distractions is nothing new. These are professionals. They've been doing this for
Right.
years, so it's not their first rodeo being able to do this thing. So the players got to do what they got to do. They got to perform. They got to at the end of the day, they got to apply what they put. That's what they do. The game film. That's what they do. All the prep. We talked about all the other. We're gonna probably talk about key players and stuff like that. I didn't even get a chance to see yours and see the key players you guys posted, but I already got mine as far as who's there's actually two of them actually had mine. Say what you want to say about Kelce, but even kind of like going back to like the last week when we were talking about how Kelce was starting to open up things for Sky Moore and also Rashee Rice. Just kind of looking ahead. You guys really want my opinion and everything. I think those two are going to be the key to this game. It's almost like almost wish I had that sound bite of Jay-Z. Allow me to reintroduce myself. This is your chance to shine right here.
Right.
Say, Cole, you were cool when you were here, but this is your time to shine, Rashee Rice. This is your time to shine, Sky Moore. This is your time to do it. It's like, can you guys get it done? We know Kelce gonna draw. He gonna do what he gonna do, and that's gonna be interesting as far as because we know about their corners and stuff like that. We know about the linebackers. Will they adjust? Will they make the double teams? I don't know. But I just look forward to a good game, and Patrick Mahomes, he a mastermind behind the pretty much behind the center. I think they're gonna be good.
Over under 25 times. How many? You take the over or the under that show Taylor Swift in the booth?
I'm gonna go with the under.
How many? How many did you say again?
25 times.
I'm gonna say under.
I'm gonna take the over, man. I don't know, man.
I'm thinking like maybe 22 times possibly.
Don't let Travis get a first down. He's definitely gonna show him.
But I mean, she'll definitely get some shine when he get a touchdown, which he will though. We know it's coming. We know it's gonna happen.
Most definitely. Shout out to the Swifties out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Boostering up the Kansas City market, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Everybody's gonna be coming to Kansas City now. See, this is what's gonna get free agents to come to Kansas City, Ty. This is what we was missing.
This ain't it. This ain't gonna do it.
Brandon Ayuk, he gonna sign. Oh, y'all got the Swifties with it.
Brian Bird signing after him.
Where the dotted line at? Let me get on over here, man. Let me get some of this Hollywood love in Kansas City. No, but it is all good. Shout out to Travis Kelsey, man. Do your thing. Man. Do your thing. Let's talk about this Chiefs offense, man. Ty, what are you trying to see from this? I mean, you kind of tapped into it a little bit, but what is one thing that you want to see from this Chiefs offense as a whole?
I want to see a consistent running game throughout this game. I don't want it to be where they start off the first drive with a couple runs, it's successful, then they go away from it for 2 or 3 quarters and don't go back to it till the end of the game. I want to see a very consistent run game. I mean, I know the Jets defense is, they're solid against the run, so this will be a good chance for us to gain some confidence in the running game. And overall, just like I said, the running game and the short short pass is the extension to the running game. Like you said, a jet sweep to Kadarius Toney here or there. Or I just want to see this offense opened up more like we saw last week. It was opened up a lot more.
Pat Mahomes played better on the road, so he's going to be locked in. Him in his three-piece suit with the Gators or whatever it is they wear now in 2023. They may not be Gators. They probably be wearing, I don't know, Super Snake for all I care. I don't know. But I just think from the offensive perspective, we've been saying this from the beginning. Who's going to be today's number one? Like we always say, he's like Tony's supposed to be the guy, but I personally believe that it could be any given guy, any given Sunday. So that's why I say this week, I'm bold enough to say, especially the way that they were performing, I think it's either going to be Sky Moore or it's going to be, you know what? No, I can't say MVS. I can't. Not this week. Not this week.
Not this week.
No, not this week.
You know what? This week.
You know what? I'm gonna take a wild shot at this one. I think Rashee Rice or Sky Moore, one of them is going to be close to 100 this week. That's what I think. I think Travis is going to open up.
Be Rice.
That would be huge.
I think so. I just based on what I've been seeing as far as like just with the tape and just kind of like going back over the last couple of weeks. And with Kelsey's opening up, I just think one of them is going to get 100 yards today. This might be one of those breakout games where you start to draw attention.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Rice. I think it's going to be Rice if one of them two has a 100-yard game. I just like the matchup for Rice because we know Sauce Gardner is going to be probably moving around a little bit. But if Rice gets matched up with DJ Reed a little bit more, DJ Reed's a little bit smaller corner. He's about 5'9". Smaller corner that would be a good matchup for Rashee Rice, who's like 6'2" to go against.
Mm-hmm. So I know whoever's matched up against Sauce Gardner, obviously they're probably not going to be that. They're not going to be the person to target. I just think it's going to be useful all over the place. I mean, who knows? MBS might sneak in there and then get his little 40-yard across, his 40-yard post. You know how that goes. It's usually deep and over the middle. That's just how it goes. But I think that's the bold prediction. I think that's the play.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also looking for Noah Gray, man. Noah Gray. Across the middle against these linebackers. There's a stat out there that these linebackers are not good against tight ends, so I expect Travis Kelsey, of course, to eat. Noah Gray, I expect him to eat over the middle too. So look out for Noah Gray, man. Noah Gray's been, he always gets he's had a couple of big catches this year, so definitely got to show some love to Noah Gray. And then Jeremy McKinnon, Jeremy McKinnon's going to do his thing. He had a really big game last week. Isaiah Pacheco.
What's Watson's numbers going to be?
Glad they were there. Yeah, I said it. Glad they were there. Y'all stay tuned. Don't be surprised to get to the end zone. I know y'all hate him. Just like y'all hate Justin Watson.
I think I can see him having at least 2 or 3 catches for 30. I can see that. That's usually what he do. I mean, he don't run those little. It's usually going to be one of those like 15-yard routes. That's what he's always good for, somewhere around there. For those looking for a good tip and everything, that might be the play. I mean, he got me a couple weeks.
Right. Let's go to the defensive side, man. What you trying to see on the defensive side?
Defense, stopping Breece Hall. That dude, he's a wrecking ball. It's no joke. It's like even when it was unfortunate he got hurt. You saw a little dose of it, and then you started to see him get loose. I mean, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure he was on the snap count in that first week because he had broke up for those 2 huge runs. He had like 100 yards already, like in 2 or 3 runs alone, which was absolutely crazy. But just is like, will they be able to keep him under that 5 yards per carry? Because people like that, especially at home, they're at home cooking. They're usually trying to get loose, and you still got that big monster in Chris Jones, and of course you got the NASCAR Packers. They're going to do what they're going to do. Can they contain that run? It's not really as much of a threat when you got to worry about somebody like Zach Wilson, obviously throwing the ball and stuff like that. Obviously all eyes and all attention is going to be on Zach Wilson to do something, and I think it's going to be a lot more pressure on the run. But I think the defense is going to execute well. I would not be surprised if Zach Wilson had less than 100 yards throwing. I think it's going to be a rough day for the Jets. That's just what I think. I think that this is the Chiefs coming out party. They've heard it all. Miami getting the respect, talking about, they're the new Chiefs, blah blah blah. What?
They look like the new Chiefs today.
No, they did not. And then notice how today all of a sudden all the attention is shifted over to the Buffalo Bills. Oh, they got this, they got that. Side note for the Bills and everything. Prayers up to their cornerback and everything. I saw Mike go down. Man. Yeah, that was tragic for him. Hope he gets well soon. But all the talk, they're gonna be talking about every other team. It's like this team, like the Chiefs didn't win anything recently. The Patriots got that respect during their time and their tenure and stuff like that. The Chiefs don't usually get it until later on. So this is your chance. You're on the big stage, Sunday Night Football. All eyes are watching. Defense, get the respect you deserve. You guys, they are a top 5 defense. They've been showing out. They've been balling. They've been doing everything you can ask for. Even without Bolton, you're still not 100%. Even we're still missing pieces, but they still doing what they doing. They playing like everything, like everybody's, like all the starters are in from the jump.
Yeah, for sure. I need this defense to make Zach Wilson look bad. Like he's been looking all season. Do the same thing he did to Justin Fields. Do it to Zach Wilson. Do the same thing. Make him look bad, and make them one-dimensional. They can't run the football. Put the ball in Zach Wilson's hand and make him win the game. And get a lot of 3 and outs so you can tire out this defense. So by the time the third quarter is here, they got their hands on their hips and they breathing in air. So that's when this offense can really get rolling. So that should be the game plan for this defense. I expect Chris Jones to get a couple sacks. I think Big George is going to get another sack. I think he's going to continue his streak and get the sack. Mike Dana's probably going to get a sack. I want to see FAU, man. He's been kind of quiet, since the season has started. Other than the Detroit game, he had a pretty good snap in that game. But since Jones came back, he's been kind of quiet. I want to see him kind of get ramped up in this game too. Make some plays, whether it be running game or at least get some pressure on Zach Wilson and make him maybe throw an interception or something like that. So yeah, I want to see FAU make some plays too. I expect these cornerbacks to do their job. I definitely think Trent McDuffie and Jarius Sneed, they might be the best duo. And I'm saying it right now. This might be the best duo in the league right now. They're putting everybody on notice, man. Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie are here. And Trent McDuffie's an all-pro, brother.
Yep.
He's here. Keep telling y'all, in the offseason, Trent McDuffie is real.
Trent McDuffie right now is playing like the best cornerback in the NFL by the numbers.
I know we don't really subscribe to PFF, but according to PFF, he's the number 1 corner.
Right? Yeah. I saw that.
He's the number 1 corner.
He is rated number 1 corner. He is.
That's what I'm saying. We don't tend to listen to PFF. Some of their scores is a little, but we'll listen to this one. We'll listen to that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I would say they just need to basically show that playing against Chicago last week, it was not a fluke as far as with their defensive performance. They need to show it against the Jets. I'm going to call out and say they're probably going to have at least 2 picks against this team. Two picks and 2 sacks somewhere in there. I could see that happening. Probably going to be more
to the house.
Yeah,
that's a possibility. I mean, Zach Wilson, he might want to put on a white or red jersey on the day after what's going to happen. I mean, he thought he rattling and everything. He might be in that spirit. Who was at that quarterback that said he was seeing ghosts out there? That might be the mentality he's going to end up having by the time this game is over, especially your own home field.
Do not give Zach Wilson confidence to where now he's slinging that football down the field. And Garrett Wilson makes a couple plays, or somebody else makes some plays. I don't want to see that. So, Chiefs defense, show up. That's we'll be interviewing her later. That's Tammy. She's a super fan. She's trying to, win the super fan of the year. So she will be interviewed later on today. Watch out for that interview. All right, fellas. Players to watch. Ty, what's the players you were watching for?
The players I'm watching for, I think you said it, Trent McDuffie. I think he will have a pick this game. He'll get his first career interception. Zach Wilson obviously turns the ball over a lot. He has a tendency to do that, has a tendency to throw into double coverage and just make some questionable decisions. So I'm going to go with Trent McDuffie being a player to watch. I'm going to go with FAU. I think, he's been quiet throughout the season. Maybe this is a chance for him to kind of show us something in this game. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Rashee Rice, Sky Moore, because I think one of them two will have a big game, like Mark said. And then after that, I'm definitely watching the tackle, Jawan Taylor, to see how he responds to all the penalties last week and the questionable calls that's been happening.
Hopefully Taylor Swift can cover that up. A distraction. Chris Collinsworth is so busy looking at Taylor Swift. He ain't worried about Jawan Taylor. He ain't worried about that Taylor. He ain't worried about the Taylor.
Facts. I'm going to say
Collinsworth is a narc. The NFL trying to take us down. He is a fed. I don't care what nobody says. He saw Jawan Taylor do this consistently last year. Now it's a problem. Now y'all playing dumb. So I'm hoping Taylor Swift, work your magic, baby girl. I want you to yell, scream, do all that stuff. So Chris Collinsworth can be like, oh wow, look at Taylor Swift.
Well, while we talk about Taylor Swift off the field, this is what I think. This is going to be my keys and everything. I'm going to say Rashee Rice on offense, if I had to call one piece. And on the defensive side, I'm going to go with Drew Tranquill. Let's see him rise up and step up to the occasion. Obviously, with Bolton not available, so we'll see how that goes. I think Tranquill has actually done nice. I think this is partly why we've even got him over there, whether it be on a lease or whatever that looks like. We've known he's had that ability and the capability to be able to step up as far as with the Chargers and be that backbone of it, even when he has support and stuff like that. But I think he's going to be able to do the same thing over in Kansas City, being able to hold. Chris Jones is going to be Chris Jones. We know that the cornerback's going to be the cornerbacks. We know what they're capable of. But Drew Tranquill, what are you going to do to take it to the next level to show why we brought you here? That is my question. What kind of night do I expect him to have? I don't know. I would expect though, as far as with it's probably going to be a heavy dose of run, so I'm imagining his tackle number is going to be up there. That's just my opinion. That's probably what I would say. He's probably going to be somewhere around that 7 to 8 tonight. He's going to be busy.
On offense, Scott Moore. I'm always going to, it's his second year, and I just want to see him stack games, man. I just want to see him continue to improve and show why we're so high on him. All three of us were pretty high, and Clarence were all pretty high on Scott Moore coming into the season. And I just want to see him continue to stack games and look like that, at least that receiver that we think he is, So Scott Moore for sure. On defense, I'm going with these safeties, man. Justin Reed, Brian Cook. I need y'all to show up, especially you, Justin Reed. I'm talking to you, really, Justin Reed. I need you to show up, sir. I need you to make some plays. I don't need you to be in the win in the cycle today by Brees Hall
I know.
because
I
he looked
mean,
kind of crazy against Detroit.
I know that
Their
Garrett.
ribs had to spinning around. I don't want to see that with Brees Hall today.
Even
Don't be
so,
taking no bad angles, missing tackles. What's they Conklin? Is that they tight end Conklin? I don't want
I
to see
don't know.
Conklin having this
Yeah,
a
Tyler
career year
Conklin.
on you.
But I think even so, to add on to that, we know it's going to be a good
What
matchup
up,
on both
cousin?
sides because because you're going to have that McDuffie versus Garrett Wilson. That's going to be a good matchup to watch, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
That's going to be a good one.
a good matchup.
The only problem is Zach Wilson can't get him the ball.
That is a big problem, and that's a big fact. That's why I say it's going to be a heavy dose of Brees Hall
Yeah.
most likely today. It's going to be a heavy dose of him. It's going to be just make sure that they can establish the running game because that run game is broke. Then you force them to go one dimensional. The faster you make a team go one dimensional, that's it.
Right.
I think the Chiefs are the
Especially
only
this
team that
team, yeah.
I think the Chiefs are the only team that are more so self-imposed and being one dimensional, but it still works. Like we'll throw occasional run in there once in a while, but we got 15 behind the center. Who are you to argue? And then you got Kelsey basically, and the rest is history. It's what it is. Just, Kansas City gonna do what they're gonna do. Tonight, there's gonna be a night where they're gonna get their respect, especially that defense. Get your respect and everything, or for Pat and everything. You know what? I'll throw this in there. Nobody's really talking about Pat as far as being the MVP. And yeah, I think my Trevor Lawrence prediction was pretty much shot down to the ground, especially with the performance that I saw.
Mine's too.
I'm pretty sure that was very disappointing. But here's why I say it's going to be important because we saw the kind of performance Josh Allen had against his team in week 1. And we saw him
He
throw
in the
some
league
ducks
right
and beyond and stuff that made absolutely no sense. And they got to Josh Allen, and he just had a really bad game to open up. Granted, call it division game or whatever it is. But Pat Mahomes, he eats up these moments. It's like these are the ones where he shows out, balls out, has the big games, shows that he's able to distribute the ball in more ways than one, and just simply just take over the game. So this might be one of those breakout, I'm gonna shut you up kind of Pat games.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say no before this game? Would you say right now Josh Allen is in the lead for MVP?
I don't know. I mean,
Especially since Tua didn't play too good today, because I would say Tua was in the lead right at this point.
it's tough
Yeah.
because
And Tua didn't have a
yeah,
great game
Tua didn't have a
today.
good game at all.
And Josh Allen outplayed him today. And Josh Allen, say what you want about Josh Allen, these past few games, he's been balling.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has.
Since the first game, and the first game, offenses tend to, have problems,
and you're
just
going
trying
to
to get their chemistry down and all that good stuff. And I don't know if they didn't look too good in the preseason. That was my knock against Buffalo. Because Buffalo's offense did not look good in the preseason. Josh Allen looked off. I don't know if it was because of the Stephon Diggs distraction and all that, but I just think he looked off. But these past few games, probably these past 3 games, he's looked really good. So he might be in the lead. But if Pat comes out or shows out, he has a chance to, be right there with him. So
yeah. I mean, here's my perspective how I look at it. So we can talk about Tua. He had a really bad game. I mean, you could arguably say the top quarterbacks who we expected to be up there have had really bad games. Or just living up to the par. Like Lamar Jackson, he's not living up to the par. Obviously, Burrow, he's definitely not doing it. Josh Allen, he had a bad game, and that was going up against a division opponent, against somebody that's very familiar with him. Patrick Mahomes, he didn't have a bad game, but when you had to change your game plan in the opening week in a 2-day span, that obviously threw a wrench in there. So it wasn't a bad game. It just happened to be the way the dice fell. But I would say they're going to be looking at this game as the comparison between Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. How did Pat Mahomes do against the Jets compared to Josh Allen? If Pat Mahomes comes out with no picks and 3 touchdowns or something like that and has like a 200-300 yard game, you could pretty much throw him right back in the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, I
for
think right
sure.
now it's Josh Allen right now. I mean, before today, I would have said the same thing, and I think it would have been Tua before today. But then Tua obviously struggled today, and Josh Allen had a really good game. So right now, I'd put Josh Allen as the front runner.
I think Tua had 2 linemen that were out. I don't know, one of them was injured, and then another one got injured in the game earlier today. So I know that kind of threw a wrench in it as well.
Yeah.
True.
And Mahomes still has a chance to jump to the front runner, in my opinion, tonight if he has a really good game. If he goes out and throws 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Well, as long as Mahomes is standing on, I mean, he could be on one ankle. He's still going to be somewhere in that conversation just because of what he can do. That's just who he is. I mean, you could run down the quarterbacks too. And granted, you could arguably say some of these rookies are actually outperforming some of these elite quarterbacks.
CJ Stroud.
I mean, Stroud was doing his thing. I mean, shout out to him because
he's a top 10 quarterback right now.
I
would
not argue that
right now.
He has looked good.
Right now.
If you would have told me that he was going to do that to a Pittsburgh defense today, I wouldn't have believed you. But he's actually showing out, and the Texans is a team to look out for. And I'm not saying that's the path. He has the path to MVP, but I will say he does have a path to the Rookie of the Year, though.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin against rookie quarterbacks, it normally doesn't go well for the rookie quarterback because he's a veteran head coach. He knows how to disguise stuff, and especially on that defense. And they weren't able to do any of that today. C.J. Stroud was doing whatever he wanted. Nothing was confusing him. He looks very comfortable in the pocket.
He does.
You might be talking about a new leader in the AFC South.
If you watch his tape versus Bryce Young's tape, you can see a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Bryce Young ain't got no receivers too. So
that's
very true. I couldn't even name one.
We got a question here, fellas. I'm gonna let you answer this time.
Do I think he will? Do you think Justin Ross will get more looks this game? I hope he does, but to be honest, I don't think he does unless it's in the red zone. I don't think he gets that many looks this game, to be honest. Unfortunately, because I want him to get as many looks as possible at this point of the season, especially in a game like this, where really you should be blowing this team out. So there should be some garbage time for him to get in there.
I mean, if there is no garbage time, I would say one target at the very most, because that's just typically how it is. They'll throw as one target and then they'll go, with Watson, kind of work on that rotation to see how that goes. But I would personally like to see more of them. Like, obviously, I think a lot of people want to see more of Ross and see what he can do and stuff like that. But also, you're still trying to address some of these unknown questions that you have. What is the cap? I mean, I think we're starting to slowly open it up as far as with the Sky Moores and Rashee Rice. We're still trying to figure that out. Rashee Rice was amongst the top in targets outside of Travis Kelce. And you start to see Sky Moore get going. So I think if you get those people going, and then, and I think as far as with the receiving core, the biggest question I have is just with Tony, because I know the first 2 weeks he kind of struggled, had a few bobbles here and there, but it's going to be interesting. That's the background noise and everything.
It's getting crazy over there.
All we need is the Drake horn. We good to go.
Shout out to the homie Jay Squish in the building, doing his thing. But yeah, man. What's the biggest matchup?
The biggest matchup tonight?
No, next
week. I'm gonna go with Quinnen Williams and the interior offensive line as the biggest matchup in this game, because if we do struggle to contain Williams, then that could cause some problems for this offense for sure. He is a disruptive pass rusher.
I think the linebackers are going to play a major part in stopping Breece Hall. That's going to be that's the big thing for me. Otherwise, if the Jets had a quarterback that can throw, obviously I would say McDuffie and Wilson, obviously. But that ain't going to happen, because most likely we're going to have somebody throwing ducks. So it's got to be those linebackers. They got to step up. That's why I said Tranquil got to have the big game. He's got to show up, with no Bolton tonight. Again, he's got to be that guy. Granted, we know Chris Jones can do. We know he's going to be a workhorse, but can he be that assist man? Obviously, Karlaftis, they're all going to fill in, but linebackers, what you going to do? Willie Gay, step up to the occasion. Rise up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with this front seven versus this running game for sure. That's gonna be one of the bigger matchups. And this offensive line versus their front seven. That's gonna be a big matchup too. Um, maybe one of these receivers, whatever receiver. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if they put Sauce on Travis Kelsey since he's a bigger corner. I can see him, being matched up
Yeah.
with Travis Kelsey and forcing these other receivers to get open. That could be their game plan. So the run game will be important. So to make them respect the run, so Isaiah Pacheco, Jet McKinnon, and CH are going to be important in this game too. So that'll be something to watch out for.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we get into score predictions and all that, let's talk about the rest of the NFL today, fellas. What is your overall view of today's games today?
The teams that suck, and the teams that are great look great. It's that simple to me. I mean, the Bills. Clarence was talking about it even when we were in the chat. He said, I think he believed that the Bills seemed like a team that had gotten it figured out, and they looked like a team that had gotten it figured out. Um, Looking through some of the other games, I mean, you really can't get a good read of some of these because obviously Ravens and Browns, you had key injuries. Uh, Broncos and Bears, who cares? It's two messes. Uh, Buccaneers and Saints is very interesting. Granted, the Buccaneers just ran them over, but it's just a division where it's up for grabs. I mean, I can't call
Yeah.
it that one week it looked like it's one team, another week it looked like another team. I don't know. Looking at doing a brief thing with the NFC East. The Commanders actually put up a good fight.
Yeah, they did.
Shout out to them. They gave it their best shot. Came down to overtime. Just unfortunately, Jalen Hurts is just a better quarterback in that situation. Will the OC for Will Bieniemy be able to get Washington right and everything? I mean, he's done it, but I think he's still got some more tricks. He's still got
Right.
some more experience to do it. So he's doing a good job over there. Granted,
Yeah.
they didn't get the result that they wanted. Bengals, we don't need to discuss that. Burnt
Speaking those
toast.
losers for
Eli Apple status. Let's just go there. And then if you want to do the last one, the Lions are clearly running the North. It's theirs to take.
yeah,
It's theirs to take.
yeah, I agree.
And then for
Yeah.
the AFC, and then if you guys want to talk about the AFC West, the Chargers almost choked like they were right on schedule, right on time, almost blew it but they were playing against the Raiders with no quarterback. And then the Broncos, do I really need to talk about them?
No.
They trash in the daytime, they trash in the nighttime, they trash on Sunday, they trash on Monday, they trash on Thursday. Give them a trailer park, and then there you go. Because that's what that team looks like right now.
Yeah, they're garbage. There's a lot of bad football this year.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Just a lot of
Yeah.
sloppy football, a lot of
It is.
turnovers.
You almost see a clear separation already as it is. And usually, you might have like 5, 6 teams, but really it just seems like 2. It seems like a boat race. I'm not even for me. I'm still on the fence with the Cowboys because I'm not sure which version. My biggest thing is I don't know which version of Dak we're gonna get. I don't know. The same with the coach. So with the whole NFC, it's a toss-up. Eagles, they haven't gotten in full stride yet. A whole lot of question there. Bills, they look like a team. They're amongst the elite as far as what I'm seeing right now. Chiefs, they're starting to get in stride despite all the challenges they're having. It's a boat race, I think, in the AFC right now between two teams.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we learned a lot about the Dolphins today and that defense. That defense is still a huge question mark. Even getting Vic Fangio this offseason, that defense gave up a lot of points. And Vic Fangio's defenses are not known for giving up the big play. They're known for being able to contain that. But today, the Buffalo Bills were being able to just get whatever they wanted when they wanted. Josh Allen is looking elite right now. I think the Bills, like you said, Mark, I think it's between, I would say probably 3 teams because I'll still throw the Dolphins in there in that mix. In the AFC right now, the Bengals have completely fallen off. I think there's a chance that if they continue on this trajectory that Joe Burrow gets sat for the rest of the year, for his health, because there's no point of running Joe Burrow out there, and especially when he's struggling to throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field. He has the lowest air yards per percentage or per pass this year. So definitely Joe Burrow falling off a cliff so far this year, right after getting paid. And then as far as the NFC, it's definitely the 49ers right up there. The Eagles looking good. The Eagles, I know the Commanders hung in there, but the Eagles, I think their offense is still a little bit off track. I think we'll start to see it more towards like week 8 and on. We'll start to see that offense get more on track. I think there's a little bit off right now.
New OC.
Yeah.
New OC. That's
for sure. Yeah,
I'm still not bought in on the Cowboys hype yet.
No, you done with them?
I'm still not bought in.
I know they beat bad teams. That's what they do.
Yeah, and then they struggle against bad teams like the Cardinals. So.
Is Arizona really a bad team?
No, Cardinals is a very sneaky team.
They're scrappy.
They're scrappy, but are they talented? I mean, do they have the most talent though?
No, they blew it. They should be going after Caleb Williams.
Josh Dobbs is QB1.
Yep, he's to lose.
Yep. It is what it is. All right, fellas. Let's get some score predictions going on here. What is your score prediction, Pat?
I got this being a blowout. I'm gonna go with 30. I'm gonna go with 38-6. I don't even think they score a touchdown this game, to be honest. I think Zach Wilson. It's gonna be a long night for Zach Wilson. It's gonna be a long night for the New York Jets. I just don't see. I don't see it, honestly. I don't see that offense scoring against us. I'm gonna be 100% honest. What I've seen the last couple weeks has not been good. So I'm gonna go with 38-6.
It's a statement game. I'm going 30-3. Put the rest of the league on notice. Mahomes needs to make a statement against this top defense. The Jets are being recognized as the top defense, and I'm pretty sure. And even on the other side of the ball, as far with the Chiefs and everything, they want that respect as far as we're talking about the defense as well. They're always being criticized, and even so, I thought it was ridiculous for them to take some of the criticism they got in the first week. They out to prove it. I think they get it done. Only a 3 spot. It might be a sympathy 3 points, or like when it was into the half 3 points, realistically. And I just think Mahomes is going to just tear this team apart and put himself right at the top of the MVP conversation.
Yeah. I'm going 42-9, fellas. And I think those other field goals coming garbage time. Yeah. It'll be a long night for the Jets and Jets fans. And you see they revving up on the Arrowhead chopper, man, baby. We're getting y'all ready for the game. Don't forget to tip your waitresses.
Facts.
But yeah,
Facts.
I got it 42-9 in a blowout. This team, without Aaron, it's a tragedy. I feel
He's on the sideline though.
Even so,
what's that mean? What are you gonna do? What's that?
I'm just saying, even looking at the way, just even the fact that the O-line, basically they blew through them twice and got to Aaron Rodgers twice, and the rest was history. What do you think they're going to have in this one? And we're talking about the team that was the number 2 team in sacks last year, and this team is still trying to get rolling. They're starting to build momentum. This might get ugly quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah, for sure.
We thought last week was bad. This might be a road version of it. We had the home version of it last week. We might get the road version of it because Pat usually plays better on the road than he does at home. 3-piece suit and all.
Yeah,
this might be one. This could be a career night. Who knows?
It really could. It really could.
This might be one of them days where Pat doing one of these. It's a possibility. I can see it.
Definitely. Well, all right, fellas. It's a good pregame show. We'll pick it back up at halftime. And then, you know, do post game, and hopefully post game is a win. You know. So until halftime, hope y'all enjoy the first half. Come rock with us at halftime. Till then, we are out.